exclusively in cryptocurrency. And if you want to learn about my free trading course, it's very simple. Just go to tradercobb.com. The link is below and you can start your free course there. You'll see there's a huge amount of content in there with all of the chapters in the members area that is free for you to get involved. And as you can see, all these different chapters so you can come up to speed and doesn't cost you a damn cent. So go to tradercobb.com, link below, and away you go. Look, we had the issue, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Ethereum, if you recall, went down. And you know, it wasn't it wasn't all that great. Now, I haven't actually had to send anything for a little while anyway, but it's surely not good. Now, how has that actually moved into affecting price? Well, Bitcoin, a little bit sluggish. Not really gone down, but it's sluggish. You look at Bitcoin, for example, which has continued to drive higher, and Ethereum maybe lagging in that sense because of that falling of the Ethereum platform. Your wallet MetaMask, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with, was not able to essentially work, and many other brokerages, many other exchanges stopped the transfer of ERC20 tokens. So they stopped us being able to move them around. Hopefully this is all fixed up and ready to go, but it just shows a little bit of weakness, I suppose, because why that shouldn't really happen. I thought that Ethereum is a little bit more switched on than that. I'm sure we'll find out more in the coming days as to exactly what went on there. Okay, a couple more things to consider here. Well, with Joe Biden being, I know he's not sworn in, so he's not effectively the president of the United States of America just yet. I know there's lots of other blah, blah, blahs going on. I'm not interested in that. I'm talking about what is being put out there in the news that people can see right now. And what I'm seeing is this. He's just gone ahead and appointed Gary Gensler, or Gensler, I don't know how to say his name. And what this means, he's going to be overseeing some pretty important bloody decisions. He'll be up there working with the Federal Reserve. Now, of course, he's an ex-Goldman Sachs alumni or alumni, or however you say that. And you know, we've seen his comments about Bitcoin relating back to the ICO boom a little while ago. He's also spoken quite positively about XRP, which is owned by Ripple, of course. Now, as far as anything else goes, you know, do we think this is going to be positive for Bitcoin or not? Well, I think one of the best things about Bitcoin, it doesn't really matter. Bitcoin is doing whatever it wants, and it can't be stopped, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Bitcoin breaking 16,000. If we see it here, we are at 16,275, what has been a fairly nice climb. Now, in my commentaries that I do and my scans that I do each day with my members in live trading flow, I was talking about this reality. What Bitcoin's been doing is sideways, good move, sideways, and it crept up in this sideways period. Now, the reason I'm focusing here on this 4-hour chart is quite simply because it shows the consolidation, whereas the daily doesn't. Look, the daily doesn't show it as a consolidation, but somewhat of a grind higher. Now, I'll come back to that 4-hour now, and we saw that consolidation, very strong run. We've seen a consolidation, and it's broken that consolidation just recently. And what we've got now is good cyclicity, higher, low, high, higher, low, higher, high. It's above 16,000, and this bodes very well for further upside for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin dominance chart, interestingly enough, and I do keep an eye on it, continues to be in a very strong uptrend here. If I flip back to the daily, what you'll see is a pullback into that cradle zone, which is an area where I trade from, and a very strong move from there. So the Bitcoin dominance for the time being looks set to continue, with all factors and indications likely that we will see further upside, or at least Bitcoin dominating alts going forward. Now, is it a blessing? Well, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm happy. I'm a trader. I've got trends. What do you think? Let me know. Do you think that it's good that we're pushing on and we haven't really seen a pullback? Or do you think Bitcoin is best just getting parabolic? What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and we can share some thoughts and theories together, because at the end of the day, I'm very open to learning from people with more experience than me, who have been around for longer or might have some different theories. I love being challenged, and I love to have to think outside of the box sometimes. So please do share with me your thoughts and comments on any of these articles. Don't forget as well, there's the Trader Cobb community. It's a Facebook group. It's absolutely free. Go and get into there and see what's going on. Post your pictures, post your trades, post your thoughts, and help us as a community. Long at BTC, so parabolic would be great. Well, I'm glad that you're long because it's moving higher, and parabolic, I am the same position when I am long. Of course, I own Bitcoin, but to get some margin on that would be the next best thing. Where do I expect the price of Bitcoin to pull back to? Well, I mean, look, there's a number of things to consider here. This weekly, I mean, look at that little weekly cradle candle right here. Now, for those of you who think, well, I'm not trading because I don't have the time. This is a weekly setup. It was there, good as gold. I spoke about it. I was buying on this one. It's, that's a cradle. And here is the reward to risk that we've got off of that. If you were to have traded this, whether it be spot or with margin, let's have a look at where we are right now in terms of reward to risk ratios. Check it out. Oops, a bit higher than that. We are currently 7.28% or 7.28 times. That means if you put $1,000 of Bitcoin in there and you use margin, the multiple will be $7,280. That's how I trade. I can show you how to do it. Just go and get yourself stuck into it. A pullback, look, it could be 13,000, it could be 12,000. It's a big, big pullback there. What we've seen in recent times when we have had a bull market is we've seen 40% pullbacks be relatively normal. Now, 50% gets us down to around that 13,000. With no signs of pullbacks just yet on the cards, I just see further upside for the time being. I am a trader. I have been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. So just make your own decisions there. Hard to find a cradle with Bitcoin so bullish. Yeah, it is, Brandon. It's a very good position to be in. We have a very strong market right now. Okay. I don't know if a downturn, but we could see a sell-off. It would be likely to see a sell-off. Bitcoin really hasn't gone too crazy. We haven't seen any crazy mad days, but I love the trend, and I'm just trading what I see. So, as we said, we are up over 16,000. It's looking very, very strong and very, very good for the time being. Now, here's something else that I wanted to bring forth to our attention. This article is not only there because it's something that's interesting, but what it is, it's Forbes. What we're starting to see now is not just articles out there in the crypto sphere, not just Cointelegraph, not just Mickey.com.au, not just CoinDesk and all these other news providers that specifically focus on crypto. What we're seeing now is Bitcoin coming back into the fold, into mainstream news, mainstream media. That helps to bring new waves of capital in, and that's where I believe we're seeing some of this continued upside for Bitcoin. Now, winter's over by the look of it, and it's going very, very well. As far as a bubble goes, look, a couple of facts. We've been up, I think, 76 hours above 15,000. We've closed above 15,000 a few times now. It's making history in that regard. Things are occurring right now. Go away, little box. Things are occurring right now that haven't occurred in the past. Okay, it's really, really positive for Bitcoin, and because we started from a much more higher level footing, we do have prolonged upside available to us. It doesn't seem like it's crazy right now as far as the 2017 pandemonium and absolute craziness of Bitcoin. And most people that bought back then, by the way, are in profit now. So it's a new wave and it's a new time, and I do see the potential for far greater Bitcoin upside. Again, Forbes reporting on this. They're saying bits and pieces about what's actually going on from people that are not experts, and we'll see that in just a minute when I look at what Ray Dalio has to say. And typically, when we see people on the counter side of Bitcoin in terms of saying it's worth nothing, it's got nothing, it is nothing, they tend to be people that have absolutely no desire to learn. People like Peter Schiff. They have no desire to listen. They have no desire to learn. They are gold. Peter is gold. Peter, when I interviewed him, had no desire to have anything to do with understanding or listening or learning about Bitcoin. Now, if I'm going to be taking investment advice or listening and learning from these types of people, I want to make sure that they've researched things, not just go out and say, straight up no. Like Dr. Doom, what's his name? Oh, geez, I've forgotten his name. What's his name? Oh, it's Dr. Doom, his name is. Well, I don't remember. Anyway, moving on. Again, he's now actually starting to come around and go, well, Bitcoin might be a store of value, but the other ones are all scams. So people's wheels are starting to turn and opinions are changing out there. It's Noriel Rabini. Thank you there, Andre. Legend. Thank you. I needed that. You got me over the line there. Thank you. We've hit 16,000 before 20,000. There you go. Amazing. We've done it. So that person that asked that question a little while back, your answer has now been provided. Yep, we've hit 16, and that comes before 20. Woo! Happy, happy days. Okay, on to the next article here. Bitcoin and crypto brace for a European central bank bombshell. What does this mean? Positive, positive, positive. They're talking now about the potential for digital currencies for the Australian dollar, the US dollar, the euro, that sort of thing. Now, what they could do is, if they're looking at digitizing or digitizing was the right word, their currencies, then it will force people to think, hang on, maybe it's not a maybe cryptocurrency is not a bad thing, because the governments are now talking about it. So ultimately, I think this is a really important thing to consider here. Now, Bitcoin and crypto watchers are braced ahead of the European Central Bank, or the ECB's, 2-day annual forum. It's beginning today, which was possibly yesterday. Should be prepared to issue a digital euro. Okay, so that again, as I say, it's more good news. It is more good news from Forbes. It is more sprinkling there of positivity and knowledge, education, and understanding, forced understanding of the digital asset space. DGTX scam, I don't know what that means. But anyway, it's about that light bulb moment for a lot of people. Speaking of light bulb moments, let's go and speak to Ray. I didn't really have anyone to speak to about Ray, but let's do this. Dalio believes nations will outlaw Bitcoin if Bitcoin price keeps on rising. What do you think? What do you think? Because, I mean, China tried to outlaw it back in 2017. Bitcoin just went, huh? We'll keep going. It's very difficult to outlaw something that's not centralized, and that is the power of Bitcoin. Now, Ray Dalio is saying that it's going high will only force governments to take action. Look, he might be right. He might be right. Governments might decide to take action because, money might flow out of capital markets and into crypto assets. And that wouldn't be good for the pyramid scheme that is, legacy markets. Of course, legacy markets being your stocks, bonds, commodities, whatnot. For an economy to remain strong, their stock market, it's not their economy, but it does help to have it strong as it, propels further jobs forward. The worse the market go, typically we see job cuts. Job cuts lead to more unemployment, and unemployment leads to more foreclosures of properties, which leads to a further decrease of the credit market, and then things start to get really, really bad, and it forces companies or countries into recessions. That is obviously something that has been happening lately and is not a good thing. So yeah, they might have to do something, but shut it down, they're going to find that really, really, really difficult to do so. Okay, really, really difficult to do so. So look, it depends on what he's saying. If you look here, year to date, Bridgewater Pure Alpha Fund down 8.18%. That's his fund. Okay, it's up 115% for Bitcoin. So again, this is a man who's not in crypto. This is a man who has an awful lot in legacy markets and does not want to see money trickle out of his fund or rush out of his fund into Bitcoin and digital assets. So again, somebody here who has an ulterior motive, speaking negatively about Bitcoin. I have a lot to say on this topic. You can outlaw Bitcoin, just declare it not being a legal tender and force people to use your central bank digital currency. I suppose that's what that means. They tried to confiscate gold, ban drugs. Didn't work. If one country bans Bitcoin, others will stay ahead. I'm kind of with you there, Andre, as well. But for the time being, we have a pretty strong market. We've got a lot of money flowing into it, and you've got an opportunity now to make your decisions. Now, I'm suggesting that most people in here already own some Bitcoin or own crypto assets. I'm sure that they have. Now, this is a new market. Think the .com age. Remember the .com? There was pets.com. There was that madness, which I saw as the ICO boom of 2017-18. Now we've matured a little bit more. We've got some big companies involved. We've got MicroStrategy. We've got Square. We've got Fidelity talking about digital assets in a positive light. There's a lot more talk in the space. There is a lot more positivity from large-scale companies, from real world beaters, so the people that matter, the innovators, the business owners, the business runners, the managers, the hedge fund guys, the pension fund people are also starting to take a more positive stance on cryptocurrency. So I don't see it going anywhere. It may shift and take form in other areas, but it will be very interesting to see. Regulators reacted strongly as soon as there was talk of Libra from Facebook, as they saw it as a serious threat to central bank currencies. They are not reacting to Bitcoin with the same vigor for some reason. I think it's because it's not centralized. It's very difficult to shut something down that is not owned by a central entity. So it's a conversation that will continue to come back to us. It will continue to prop its head up, but Bitcoin continues to move higher as we come towards the close of another day. 44 minutes to go. We are up 3.36%. Now, your opportunity right now is to learn how to trade if you wish to. It's an absolutely free process to get access to this course. All you need to do is go to tradercobb.com. Absolutely free as a bird. So make sure you click on the link here, get across there if you haven't already got that, and get through the entire program. It's not just about starting this thing, it's about seeing the whole thing out, because that's where the gold sits. Get through it. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you have a fantastic week. And this has been our crypto news for this week. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this. Hit the comments if you've got more to say. If you don't like this, let us know. If you do like this, let us know. What do you want more of? Let us know. Hit away on the comments, and please like, share, and subscribe. We love you. Have a great day.